She hands it off to Jackson. Jackson uses the screen, lost the handle, bounced past to Plum. Plum loses it, regains it, throws it up for grabs. Grabbed by Boston out of the sky, and we're going to have a foul here. No, a timeout taken by Indiana.
What I love the most about this squad is that, just like O said, like we instill confidence, the coach instills confidence that any shot you take, shoot with confidence because we trust you and we trust that you're going to make it. And I feel like that's just really helped us down the line because no matter who comes in, no matter who steps up, we're all just really happy for each other.
Aliyah Boston made a statement after the game that had every Fever fan talking, and then she backed it up with her performance. In a season where Indiana has been hit hard by injuries, she delivered 22 points, 11 rebounds, and a career-high 6 steals, finishing it off with the defensive stop that sealed the game. Her words afterward might just explain how the Fever managed to pull off their most important win of the year. And despite the setbacks and shaky momentum, one unexpected hero gave Indiana the spark that closed the door on LA. This one could be the turning point for the Fever's entire season.
Fever dog!
How do you find a way to win when nearly half your roster is stuck on the sidelines? That was the challenge facing Indiana as they stepped into Los Angeles. Caitlin Clark was out, Sophie Cunningham sidelined, Sydney Colson and Ari McDonald also unavailable. 4 guards, 4 playmakers, 4 key voices missing from the lineup. For most teams, that would spell disaster in a game with playoff implications. But the Fever didn't have the luxury of folding. They had to rely on toughness, grit, and the belief that the players still standing could carry them through.
The resilient, nature of our team. I think one other thing that sometimes goes missed is just the character of these women, right? Especially this group that's been here, that's gone through all of this, and then the ones that we brought in. We brought in with O and Shay and AP. I mean, these are women who care about winning. These are women who care about one another. These are women who sacrifice every single day.
It wasn't just the injury report weighing on Indiana. This wasn't an ordinary August matchup, and the Sparks weren't just another team on the schedule. Los Angeles had beaten the Fever in all 3 of their previous meetings this season. 3 games, 3 defeats, each one more frustrating than the last. The playoff picture made the stakes even higher. Indiana sat in 6th place, barely holding onto a postseason spot, while the Sparks were lurking just 2 games back in 9th. That margin could disappear overnight. And with 4 losses in their last 5 outings, the conversation around the Fever had shifted to doubt. Were they unraveling at the worst possible moment?
Steph mentioned, whenever she sees you with the 2 black eyes, she smiles in a way because it just exemplifies your toughness. Do you feel tough in these kinds of situations with these 2 black eyes?
I mean, that's what people keep telling me. Every time she sees me, she smiles and then she says, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, "You don't need to be sorry. This is what it is." And when I'm playing, I forget about it, and then I go and look in the mirror, and I'm like, "Oh shit, they're still there." So yeah, I don't really think too much about it because I don't necessarily feel them all the time.
Yeah, and you're still able to see completely fine?
Yep.
Right.
Nothing's changed.
All right.
Picture the challenge, a team that looked vulnerable from the outside, with just 5 games left in the season and patchwork lineups holding them together. At this point, it wasn't about chasing perfect rhythm or flow. It was about fighting through every single possession. That survival mindset became their blueprint. Every player who got minutes had to give more than their usual role demanded, and everyone who stepped on the court had to carry responsibility that went far beyond the box score.
Initially, I was like, I just need to get the swelling to go down in my forehead. So I put a patch, slept with it. The next day, woke up, and I was like, okay, the bump is almost gone, but now I have 2 black eyes. So that was tragic. But I mean, at this point, it's unfortunately won't be able to hide it. People know, so just rolling with it.
Were you able to hide it for the photo shoots?
The makeup artist did a really, really, really good job. And people that hadn't met me before were like, "Oh, I can't even tell." I'm like, okay, that's good. We'll take it. But I'm hoping they'll do some editing in the post.
And then came Lexi Hull. She wasn't just on the floor. She was battling, carrying the scars of her last game after colliding with Gabby Williams. Both eyes bruised, yet she refused to back down. She dug into defenders, chased every loose ball, and fought through screens like nothing could slow her. Hull became the embodiment of what Indiana needed that night, resilience in its rawest form. Her very presence sent a message. If she could push through the pain, then everyone else in Indiana Red had no excuse but to rise and fight alongside her.
And I imagine on Tuesday you got checked for concussion, facial fracture. Just how much of a sigh of relief was it that you didn't have concussion or any kind of fracture in your face?
Yeah, honestly, when it happened, I was like relieved because I could feel myself like I was good to go. Like I felt completely with it. They did all the tests they needed to do and put ice on it right away. Try to keep the swelling down, but I felt good knowing that obviously it could have been a lot worse. And I'm grateful for the people online wanting to check on me and make sure that I'm okay. But I'm okay. I've been fully checked out.
That's what set this game apart. It wasn't about flashy plays or highlight moments. It was about survival. Every rebound, every stop, every basket carried weight. One strong run from LA could have shut the door, but Indiana refused to break. Possession after possession, they matched the Sparks' energy, pushing back with grit and focus against a team desperate to tighten the playoff race.
I like that we dug in. It wasn't ideal in terms of how the game was. It was ugly. We had moments where we were better than others, but we dug in. I mean, when you think about key defensive stops, key offensive rebounds, like AB's key offensive rebound there at the end, making plays, deflections that led to steals or deflections that led to bobbled passes.
By standing firm under pressure, Indiana created the perfect moment for an unlikely hero to emerge. Their resilience gave space for a veteran who had been waiting for her chance to shine, and that player was Odyssey Sims. On a night that looked like it would be about simply surviving with a depleted roster, Sims transformed the narrative. At 31 years old, coming off the bench, she became the pulse of the game. What made it even more powerful was the opponent, her former team, the Sparks. Every drive, every bucket, every possession carried a layer of personal history, and you could feel it in her intensity. For Sims, this wasn't just a game. It was a statement.
Sims left open for three. She got it. Offensive rebound. Sims the runner. Here's Howard. Shovels Sims right at the doorstep and she gets it off the window. 3-on-3 the other way. Sims the take and finishes the lefty layup.
At this point in her career, few would expect a backup guard to shoulder the offensive load. She isn't the player opponents highlight on the scouting report the way they do Aliyah Boston or Caitlin Clark. But when Indiana's top scorer, Kelsey Mitchell, struggled to find her touch, hitting just 5 of 14 shots, that's usually where a team unravels. Instead, Odyssey Sims became the solution. She entered with poise, making quick, confident decisions and attacking each possession as if it were the moment she had been preparing for all along.
Down by Plum. Plum 1-on-2, ripped away there by Sims. Great play by Odyssey Sims. Played the ball. 3-on-3 the other way. Sims the take and finishes the lefty layup.
Her stat line only scratches the surface. 21 points on the night. But the weight of those points told the real story. Each basket came at a moment when Indiana needed stability, when momentum threatened to tilt the other way. She controlled pace with a veteran's composure, knowing exactly when to push the brake and when to slow the game down. And in the fourth quarter, with everything on the line, the ball naturally gravitated to her hands. She sliced through traffic, pulled up confidently from mid-range, and created looks off the dribble. These weren't just complimentary plays. She became the focal point, the go-to option when the Fever had no margin for error.
The lead back up to 3. Sims left open for 3. She got it! Odyssey Sims with the triple to tie this one up at 74 apiece. Got the offensive rebound out to Mitchell. Here's Hole curling. Hole down the lane. The kick out Sims. Sims in the paint. The runner good. They put Turner on the inbound. Alamon inbounds it to Hamby, and so now that'll be that. So the Indiana Fever come into here.
Honestly, 5 straight points for you to help take the lead at the end of the game. Just what was that mindset for you in those final seconds?
I didn't shoot the ball well from the three. I was over before I made that shot, but I mean, I didn't lose confidence. I think my teammates did a great job, along with the coaches, just constantly talking to me. They weren't worried about my missed shots. It just came down to continue to play. They believe in me so much, so that helped me. And when I shot it, I was open. It was one of those do or die. It went in, and I was excited about that. Like I said, I was open from the three, but we got the W, so it feels great. Just going off just like the last few years, just up and down, in the league, out the league, hardship, contract being cut, all of that stuff. Really doesn't matter. I think I'm a human definition of you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. I think every opportunity that has been given to me, I'm taking full advantage of it. These opportunities that you can't let slip away. You never know what tomorrow brings. You never know. You be on the team one day, gone the next day. So just being able to come in and just stay ready, have my energy flow to my teammates, and just be positive. Like I said, I'm with a good group.
Sparks started the game on a 7-0 run. Here's Mitchell. Right back to Boston. And unable to get that one, but follows her on. Cameron Brink and Ray Burrell going to be checking in next time there's a stoppage for a leg. Here's Turner in traffic, and she gets it up off the window.
Beautiful pass from Boston.
7 on the shot clock. Mitchell turning the corner. Jump stop in the lane, loses the ball. Brink throws it right to Boston. Easy layup. Julie Alamam, 5 points here tonight. They go high-low, and Boston the beneficiary. That's the 18th point off of a Sparks turnover. Hamby the crossover. Hamby rejected there by Boston. Here's Mitchell, always dangerous with the ball in her hands. Finds Boston's free throw line. Boston against Hamby. Jump hook, gets the soft bounce. He hands it off to Jackson. Jackson uses the screen, lost the handle, bounce pass to Plum. Plum loses it, regains it, throws it up for grabs. Grabbed by Boston out of the sky. And we're going to have a foul here. No, a timeout taken by Indiana.